Hey, long time no see. So I've been struggling a little bit with videos over the past couple of months, and I thought, just let's get that ball rolling once again. And what better way to do that than just, featuring products that I've loved over the past year. This is just a compilation of products that either have completely flown under the radar here on the channel, or I just feel like I want to bring them up again because I feel like they're still so damn good in what they are supposed to be. And I just enjoy them and just love using them in a daily basis, and I feel like they deserve some credit. All the products in this video are products that I genuinely use and love to use on a daily basis, and most of them are things that I've bought for myself. The only exception to that is the Flic Buttons. Now I know these sorts of videos tend to have, around this time of year, tend to have a lot of integrations and brands just sending creators just product after product, and it just, some of them just want a little bit of money. They just, they like the product enough to feature it on the channel, but they don't actually use it that much. But that's not really the case here. These are the Flic Buttons, and if you've been on the channel for a while, I've been getting more and more into smart home stuff over the past year. But they've reached out, they wanted me to let you know that they're running some promotions, and they gave me these Flic Buttons, which are the black version of the original buttons, which is by far, just by far my favorite product of theirs. It's just a smart button that's very clicky, so if you're into clicky buttons on a mechanical keyboard, I mean, that's properly satisfying. And if you want to help out the channel a little bit and you want to get yourselves a nice discount, just go to the first link in the description and use the code CarlosVIP, and you're gonna get early access to the Black Friday deals, and I think that's just a win-win. But if smart home stuff isn't really what you're in the market for, I have just the thing when it comes to my sim racing setup, which, to be honest, I'm just gonna say it, it's probably where I have consistently the most fun with tech these days, and I think that's not really even remotely close to an exaggeration. It's composed by the Fanatec GT DD Pro that I featured in a couple of videos last year, and I've been using it daily, and honestly, it's just every single day that I can, I'm on it. I've been playing a lot of GT7, which is, the car collecting simulator, and just having so much fun. I want to get a better group of people around, and just playing with people is just makes the game so much more fun. And yeah, that's pretty much the main thing. It's the GT Lite, the GTDD Pro. The combination of the two is sort of the perfect balance when it comes to portability and space, but also still having a relatively good experience. And I'm not gonna jinx it, but I may or may not have an interesting collaboration with some sim-related brands in the works that will be just extremely excited if that's the main reason why you follow the channel. But not gonna try to spoil anything. The third item on the list is more of like an items sort of thing, and this wouldn't really be a video on this channel if I didn't in some way, shape or form show or talk about my favorite gear when it comes to playing FPS shooters. Now, I featured plenty of IEMs in the past, and I featured plenty of mouse pads and mice, but the combination between the Artisan Ayate Otsu and my recently modified Superlight Generation 1 is some of the most consistently good just performance that I've gotten when it comes to just gaming peripherals for shooters. I mean, I've said this in the past, and I'll say it again. A year ago, I wouldn't have believed you if you told me that I was going to be spending more money for a mouse pad, shipping it from Japan, that entire ordeal, just to get an artisan pad. But the sheer consistency of the surface and the fact that I've washed this thing plenty of times and it still feels brand new is something that I've learned to enjoy, and I feel like it's definitely worth the price premium. Now, we're talking about the final percentage of improvement when it comes to sort of your consistency and your enjoyment, but I think for the looks and for the durability alone, I think it's definitely worth it. And this combo wouldn't work without the modded Superlight. And with Logitech just upgrading the Superlight this year with 2000 Hz polling rate and in a very marginal sort of weight reduction, I feel like my mod definitely feels even better now, knowing that just Logitech simply doesn't want to make it much much lighter and simply doesn't see the need of much higher polling rate. And I've said this plenty of times, but chances are, unless you're playing at a very high refresh rate with very high frames per second and you're super in tune with your game, a high polling rate mouse isn't really gonna change that experience dramatically. And even when it does, it's definitely a very marginal improvement. Add to that the fact that you will give up a decent amount of battery life, and it's a pretty tough sell. And since I replaced my Superlight, the original one, with my modded version with the replaced rotary encoder, the new switches, and even though I was super conservative with how I did my weight cutting on the Superlight, I still came in right around Superlight 2 levels. For some reason, it really feels like a new mouse for me, and that's the main thing. I mean, the Superlight one is a great deal, and around this time of year, you probably are gonna find it super cheap. And if you want to just play around, learn a little bit about modding your mouse, it's definitely a great platform to get you started. Or if you don't, it's just a solid mouse, just choice, period. The next item or items on the list are definitely going to be a little bit controversial, but at the same time, if you know me, they just make absolute perfect sense. I've been a user of an iPhone 11 Pro Max and a Apple Watch Series 4 ever since both of them were released, and I've been saying for years that the only reason why I've still kept using an iPhone and haven't really looked outside of the Apple ecosystem is just because I love my Apple Watch so much, and I couldn't really get the same experience with the same apps that I use outside of the Apple Watch and the Apple ecosystem. But that kind of changed when I decided this year to upgrade to a 15 Pro Max, because I was intrigued about two things, and after using it for a little while, I just love two things: the looks and the cameras. Because I mean, I do this for a living. I film, I play with cameras, and I love image and how I can make a better image more consistently. That's really my bread and butter. And the addition of Apple Log to how you can record video on the iPhone has been transformative, to say the least. I mean, last year the camera with Apple Pro RAW was very, very good. You could take very high resolution pictures and just bring them into a computer and just really play around with it. But this year you can do the same for video, making this the absolute best video camera on a phone that you can get, period. Add to that the fact that the pictures that I've been taking with this guy have been some of my best, some of my favorite. And you know, I've had runs where I'm running and it's very beautiful outside here in Scotland, and I see a picture, I stop, I take my phone out, and it's banger city. It's just banger after banger after banger. I mean, I do a little bit of editing. I love to just give the pictures a little bit of a rougher look, but the initial picture is just so good, and how easily you can sort of push it around to really get a great result is truly fantastic, and it has completely sort of revitalized my love for taking pictures on the camera that I have on me all the time. And the same thing goes for my Apple Watch. I've upgraded to an Apple Watch Ultra 2, not because it's much better than the Ultra 1, but because honestly, I don't see myself upgrading my watch anytime soon. I got the Series 4, and every year has been a little bit of an improvement and a little bit more features. But if you look back to 5 years ago and the jump that I took from 5 years ago to this guy, it's truly a whole other thing. Like, for example, the main things that I love about it are the improved battery life and sort of the design and the build quality. Not because I think it looks particularly beautiful, but I think it sort of looks a certain way and kind of plays well with how the phone looks in a certain way that I think kind of looks unique-ish. It's definitely a personal preference, but what isn't a personal preference is, on the world of smartwatches and smart wearables, battery is at an absolute premium most of the time, and the fact that I can get over 3 days of battery life if I really push it with tracking my activities every day, it truly is spectacular. Now, I usually don't aim to get extremely long battery life because I'm one of those weirdos that try to keep a battery in a happy range, and it's very, very easy to do with this guy. So in the past, I've been stretching my watch every day, and it was almost dead all the time. So I would pretty much have to charge it from 0 to full every single day. And now I'm into this routine where I'm going to bed, I put my watch on the charger, I go brush my teeth, use the toilet, get back to the bedroom like 10 minutes later, and I'm good to keep the watch between 70 and 40%. And if I really need to, I just push an entire weekend without a charger if for some reason I decided to do that, and it's good either way. So that's just a humongous improvement from what I was getting before, and the fact that I can still keep using my favorite apps like HealthFit to track everything locally and track my health and my improvement on my runs. It truly is spectacular, and I really wouldn't be pushing this many kilometers every year without this, guys. Like, I've stopped in the past and I've gotten back into it again, and it's truly a thing that the Apple Watch is great to do, sort of gamifying that running experience and making it more pleasant and nicer in general is something that I truly really enjoy and appreciate, and this guy's gonna be my companion for all of that for the next couple of years. So yeah, hopefully you're happy to see this face again, pop it into your feed, and hopefully the algorithm put me on your face even though you haven't been watching any videos for a while. And yeah, I have some interesting videos featuring the iPhone, the Apple Watch, and some new IEMs and certain projects in the making. So yeah, thank you for sticking around, and bye.